Hello, my name is Lewis and welcome to Gathering the Magic, and today we're looking at the top 10 most expensive cards from Zendikar Rising, so you know what to look out for when cracking those packs upon next week's release. And boy oh boy does this set look good. Check out our Insta and all of Meme Master Steve's devilish MTG creations, and make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Keep your eye out for next weekend when I'll be opening a Zendikar Rising pre-release box. Now let's get right into the video. Just sneaking onto the list at number 10 we have Nissa of Shadowed Bows, and yes, I did Google how to correctly pronounce bow so I didn't sound like a complete idiot. The Golgari Planeswalker is doing what so many cards love to do in this newest set, and that is landfall. The +1 ability is very similar to the +1 ability of Nissa from War of the Spark, and this new Nissa's ability is the bomb. Get that creature straight on the battlefield from your hand or the graveyard and give it that cheeky +2/+2 boost. So good too, as you could play Nissa, then play a land, trigger that loyalty counter and then ultimate Nissa straight away. That is nuts. You already know that this card is going straight in everyone's deck who has Lord Windgrace as their commander. I think this card will be finding a home in my latest commander project I'm building, a filthy Yarok deck. Get Nissa triggering off twice as quick? I like the sound of that. In as the 9th most valuable Zendikar Rising card we have Leyline Tyrant. This flying 4/4 red dragon helps us stop doing what we all forget to do every now and then. It prevents us from losing unspent mana throughout different phases as they start and end. And it's got that added bonus of when it dies, you can pay any amount of red mana and deal that much damage to any target. If you've got this badass dragon out and have so much mana untapped, your opponents will be scared to come at you out of fear that if Leyline bites the dust, then they might be losing something that they have too. Get that pop in with something on the board like Fiery Emancipation and strike the fear of triple the damage heading to your opponent. Or maybe it's just another dragon you want to join Terror of the Peaks and Scourge of the Throne in your powerful dragon tribal deck. A really cool card with some wicked art, and a card I'd love to see if it gets much play in Commander upon release. For the 8th most expensive card we have Forsaken Monument. I am a big fan of this card, and the art on this one is one of my favourites in the whole Zendikar Rising set. You already know this is slotting into those big Eldrazi stompy decks to boost those already insanely strong creatures. Expect to see a copy in all of those Morophon decks, because why would you not want to boost all of those creatures and make Morophon itself an 8/8? It's also mental when you think it also allows you to tap for extra colourless mana and give you 2 extra life whenever you cast a colourless spell. I'd love to pair this off with Ugin the Ineffable. With Forsaken Monument, you've already got all those colourless creatures having +2/+2, so why not get Oogie Boy out and make colourless spells extra cheap too? Then find a way to get out that all is dust and turn your opponents to dust in no time.
Anybody? No? Dust.
And obviously, if you want your friends to hate you even more, get out that Darksteel Forge, make Forsaken Monument indestructible and laugh your way to victory. Coming in as the 7th most expensive card from Zendikar Rising, we have Omnath, Locus of Creation. Just like his previous appearances in Battle for Zendikar and M20, Omnath cares all about that landfall. You want to be getting out all of that land as much as you can. Whack down that Azusa Lost But Seeking and Oracle of Muldaya, play more land and keep triggering Omnath and get him doing that 4 damage to everything over and over again. Fill your decks with cards like Ramunap Excavator and Crucible of Worlds, then you've got that threat of getting land from anywhere and doing damage even more often. Especially if you've got those fetch lands that you can use. Bring them back from the graveyard, use over and over again, bring back from the graveyard, pure chaos. Throughout the years we've seen Omnath go from that mono green to Gruul to Temur and now 4 colour ink. Does this mean next year we're seeing that 5 colour Omnath, Locust of life? Only time will tell. Just missing out on the top half, the 6th most valuable card is Agadems Awakening, the first and not the last modal DFC card on this list, and this card is just so good, I love it. Return from the graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that have different converted mana cost X or less. Imagine if you're deep into a game of Commander and you tap X for 9 mana. I'll slowly just do a little transition across the screen now, but could you imagine that for a total of 12 mana, you'd get all of this back onto the battlefield? If you've got a load of different ETB triggers with your creatures, you'll be popping off even more. It literally can put you in a game-winning position in just one move. And always have that rinse and repeat option if you have this in your deck. Running Golgari, use Agadems Awakening, let that resolve, play Eternal Witness and then just have that option to use it again and cause even more carnage. A great card which I definitely do think will see a lot of play in Commander and maybe even Standard. In as the 5th most expensive card from Zendikar Rising, we have Turntimber Symbiosis, and yes, it's another modal DFC card. Another big hitter, and a card that I'm myself not the biggest fan of. Look at the top 7 cards of your library, put a creature onto the battlefield. If its CMC is 3 or less, you can put 3 +1/+1 counters on it. While it does give you the chance to get out creatures like Woodfall Primus and Galta Primal Hunger, it also gives you the chance to get those cheap CMC creatures out, and with a nice little +3/+3 boost too. Give those creatures like Prowling Serpapod and Runic Armasaur a nice little boost to really increase that chance of keeping them on the field. But, like I said, for a total of 4 generic and 3 green, Turntimber Symbiosis is expensive and something I think will see little to no play because of this high mana cost. Still, maybe people will use it for that DFC land option. Just missing out on the podium places, the 4th most valuable Zendikar Rising card is Morag, Fury of Alcom. And yes, it's another landfall boy who is ready to destroy. A Minotaur warrior that boosts other creatures for each time it attacked is already decent, but that landfall ability is just next level. Play a land on your main phase, get an additional combat phase. Again, fill your decks with cards like Mina and Den and Wayward Sawtooth. Give yourself all that option of playing more lands a turn, and you could be going off with many turns of additional combat. Damage for days. Fill your deck with those powerful attackers like Utvara Hellkite and Itali Primal Storm, and you'll be doing so much damage, getting so much advantage from all those triggers, and really putting yourself in an unstoppable position. Well, until your opponents whack out that Prickly Marmoset, and we all know from there, it's game over for you. Again, other dragons getting on that attacking train, like Balefire Dragon and Draguseth Maw of Flames, would really put the killer touch to your team and finish everyone in no time at all. For the 3rd most valuable card from Zendikar Rising, we have Ancient Green Warden. What a card Old Greenie is. A 5/7 with reach that allows you to play cards from your graveyard is already a winner, but that 3rd ability of if a land entering the battlefield causes a permanent you control to trigger it a 2nd time, that just creates so much more room to cause chaos. It also looks like it'll slot straight into my Radha deck, and maybe even my future Yarok deck. Time will tell. You already know it'll go so well with those land effect staples like Tatiova, Benthic Druid and Rampaging Baloths. Really get that card draw and creature token engine going at double speed. Again, it'll really benefit cards like Tireless Tracker and Nesting Dragon, who capitalise and reward land hitting the battlefield. A great card which I really hope I'll pull come the release of Zendikar Rising. You know there'll be booster box videos aplenty in the next few weeks. Runner up and the 2nd most expensive card from Zendikar Rising, we have a Shire, Soul of the Wild. I think of all the cards on the list, a Shire is my favourite. A cheap to cost creature at 5 CMC and you just get so much value for it. If you're 5 turns in and you get this out, you're essentially already getting a 5/5 elemental that's only going to get stronger as more lands hit the battlefield. The 2nd ability is where a Shire really kicks up a gear. All non-token creatures are also forests in addition to their other types. I've seen it said several times online, and clearly the combo piece you want to get this out with is Timber Protector. And guess what? Because all creatures are forests thanks to a Shire, now all your creatures have Indestructible. Other cards like Leyline of Abundance and Embodiment of Insight would really pair off well with a Shire too. Have those creatures tap for double the mana with Leyline and have everything gain vigilance thanks to Embodiment of Insight. Again, there are just so many ways you could go with a Shire. Such an incredible card, and one you know, just like Gargi, will see lots of play with those greeny players in the future. And the most expensive card in Zendikar Rising is none other than Lithoform Engine, a card that seems like a perfect fit for those Riku decks. Lithoform is your classic copy target card, and with 3 options there are several ways to run a Lithoform Engine. Tap 2 to copy target activated or triggered ability, tap 3 to copy target instant or sorcery, or tap 4 and copy target permanent spell, and I think that's where we'll see the most play. Again, a million ways to go with the Lithi Engine. Why not tap 4 and copy that trusty Smothering Tithe? With 2 on the board, your opponents will have to start paying 4 when they draw a card, or give you that lovely treasure token. Maybe you want to copy that Dragonlair Spider you have and start getting 2 triggers whenever an opponent plays a spell. A really interesting card which could become a future commander staple for everyone because it's cheap to play and it just gives so much versatility. there we have it. That is the list. Don't forget to like this video and why not subscribe for more MTG content. Get us well on that road to 500 subs. Go and follow our other socials which I'll put on the screen now. And if you're still watching, let me know in the comments below what you think Prickly Marmoset's superpower would be. And maybe I'll send you one in the post. For now, I'm all tapped out, so I'll see you in the next video.